Vicksburg Warren School District budget, 29 June 2023. And we'll go to item B1, and that is you.
Why don't we approve the agenda?
Is there an agenda to approve? Yes.
I make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed, motion carries. Thanks, Brian, for picking that up.
Yes, quicker. It's quicker. Who's going to do it? You can do it quicker. Just, okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is our Vicksburg Warren School District public hearing for our proposed budget for 23-24 school year. I'm Cassandra Lewis, and I am currently the Director of Financial Services. Okay, the rules for the budget hearing. The hearing is a forum to permit the public to be informed of the details of our spending plans for the Vicksburg Warren School District, and it is not a press conference. The media is invited to cover the meeting as it would any other public meeting. Comments and questions will be restricted to budget-related issues. The speakers will be limited to 3 minutes for making comments or asking questions. Okay, this is our Vicksburg Warren School District Board of Trustees. Mr. Brian Pratt currently serves as our secretary for District 1, term of 2017 to 2028. Mr. Alonzo Stevens, who's a member of District 2, term served 2019 to 2024. James Sturgis, Jr., member of District 3, term served 2020 to 2026. Kimball Slayton, who's currently our president, District 4. He serves District 4 for the term of 2020 to 2026. And Mr. Joe Leviza, who is our current vice president for District 5, and his term is 2023 to 2028. Currently, our interim superintendent is Mr. David Campbell. Okay, this is the community that we serve. Currently, it consists of, for the county population, 42,649. Inside the city limits, 20,391. And this is an estimate as of 2022 census. Okay, the mission statement for the overall district. It is our goal through relevant instruction to equip every student with the literacy and numeracy skills to succeed in challenging courses, meet academic standards, and graduate from high school prepared for college and ready for a challenging career. The next statement shows how the finance department feeds into the overall district mission. The finance team is responsible, provides an environment of financial stability with solid internal controls in order to provide sufficient resources to our students, our teachers, administrators for the advancement of our instruction. Our support role is to work to ensure that processes are in place so that employees are paid correctly and timely. Instructional resources are made available to the classroom instructor in order to build or provide a secure and viable learning environment. Also, controls are in place to protect Vicksburg Warren School District from risk of financial exposure. Okay, the next slide shows a look up close and personal of our Vicksburg Warren School District staff and also our students. For school year 22-23, the total estimated student count was 6,772. Teachers and professional staff, 548. Educational assistants, 165. Our building administration, 34, and that includes our principals and our assistant principals. Teachers with advanced degrees, 325. Our total estimated high school students is approximately 1,926, and we serve approximately 42,649 citizens.
Can I ask a question on your previous slide?
Sure.
The advanced degrees, what are you qualifying as an advanced degree? Is that above and beyond just?
Yeah. Doctor, right,
Okay.
right.
That's good.
Okay. This is a look at our Vicksburg Warren School District graduation rate. It continues to improve. From 2022 to 2023, we had a 0.50 percentage point, and that is important. It may not seem like much, but I mean, just any increase in our graduation rate makes a difference. And as you can see, the trend has increased from year to year. This is our fiscal impact of the Vicksburg Warren School District, the success of our Vicksburg Warren School District. We foster higher property values, directly employ approximately 1,200 people, which continues to be the third largest employer in Warren County. Pays on average $3.97 million in monthly payroll, and that equates to $47.6 million annually. And for our operations, paid an average of $1.39 million monthly to our vendors. That equates to $16.7 million annually. As it relates to our fiscal year budget, we are governed by Section 37.61.9 Mississippi Code 1972 requires the school district to prepare a budget of anticipated revenues and expenditures on or before August 15th for the coming fiscal year. The budget is the district's educational plan expressed in dollars and used to measure and monitor our revenues and our expenditures. The annual budgets are essential for sound financial management. The budget may change or may be amended as the instructional needs of our students change from year to year. This is why all information provided during this presentation is based on source information available at the current time. Okay, our guiding principles. It is our responsibility to identify budget priorities for instruction, support activities, and the district as a whole. Also maintain parity among all of our schools. Also actively pursue cost-cutting measures and identify budget-reducing options. And as always, it's important for us that we identify those areas where we see cost increases. We follow that trend and find ways to reduce our costs and seek additional resources to cut costs. Example, our waste management. We know that we have downtime during the summer, so we did a schedule just for our summer because no one's at the schools. So we were able to reduce some of that pickup costs for some of our schools. And some of our schools have actually 5 days that we pick up. So it does cost, I mean, waste management is expensive, but we've been able to cut some of that cost for our summer schedule. It's also important for us to build in appropriate budget safeguards, those things that are unforeseen. We have our Entergy. We received an email the mid-year for the 22-23 year with an increase of about 15 to 25%. We did not budget for that. So those are things that are unforeseen, and it's important that we keep a healthy fund balance for those things because we do not know what will happen in the future. And again, they did increase us in our fiscal year to 22-23 fiscal year. Okay, and also be conservative and realistic. Like I said, make sound decisions that will give the best results for the district and build on our fund balance. Again, it is important that we do keep a healthy fund balance because those things that are unforeseen, we are able to sustain for the district. Okay, allocations to schools. Funds are allocated to schools based on a per student basis. Per ESSA requirements, we developed a methodology to support allocation of funds. Also, principals and directors are responsible for managing their individual budgets. That's site-based management, that's at their schools, and they are responsible for their individual budgets. Also, funds may be transferred between certain amounts to accommodate needs. And the slide next slide. The next slide shows our 4-year population. We just did a trend for our county and city population, and as you can see, from 2020 to 2023, we've had a decline. This does affect our per student allocations as well. So for the next slide, you will see the 5-year trend for our student count. The student enrollment has declined as well from 2019 to 2023. 2019, we were at approximately 7,569, and now we're at 6,772. So you can see the impact that our student enrollment has in our district, in our the allocations that we receive as well. And hopefully this trend won't continue. We want to see those numbers go up. Okay, this is our budget projection summary. We include this slide because it gives you a projection of our fund balance and where we started. For the fund balance as of July 1st, 2023, we started at $20,940,905. Our revenue, our projected revenue for the 23-24 year, $116,668,549. And this is, I wanted to indicate or show you that ESSER funding, and obviously last year it was 34 million, this year is 22,250,000, because we do know it's going away. So
this
that's
is the last year of it? Or?
This, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So without that ESSER revenue in there, you have a overall revenue right now, $94,418,541. For the expenditures, you have a projection of $92,909,797, and for the fund balance, the excess of revenue over expense right now is $1,508,743. Now that may seem like a lot, but it's really not a lot. So we want to see that number go up for the 23-24 year.
In your projections, how do you determine how many people or how much money we'll lose with Capit Housing closing 300 jobs, Cooper Lighting cutting 200 jobs? Who projects that? The county?
It does, but we do our own as well, for sure, because those things that are unforeseen.
We don't have any control, but
No,
they're going to happen.
that's right. Absolutely. As you can see, our overall fund balance at June 30th, 2024, $22,449,648. And keep in mind that our fund balance at July 1 is an estimate until all our GL books are closed, or the GL is closed for the FY23 year. Okay, now these are some highlights or proposed budget highlights for the 23-24 year. Some of these projections or expenses are some things that are beyond our control. There are some that may be on a wish list, but these are highlights that we must address for the 23-24 year. Our workers' comp. Because of our property insurance, we know our property insurance will go up. There has been an appraisal for our additional buildings. And for that reason, our insurance has gone up. So, it's per square footage. And it was appraised, and our property premium increased by $271,197 for this year. So that is part of our budget. We will have to put that in because we need to make sure that we are covered for our property insurance. Transportation, as always, this is our yearly fleet that we always budget for. That is for the I may have fiscal 23, but it's 24 there, so I'll make that correction. For our technology, last year we did budget for our infrastructure. That's a continuous budget item. It's a 2-year project. Last year for the phase 1, we budgeted $600,000. This year we will budget the same for the infrastructure technology.
Did we spend 600,000?
No, we did not, but it's there.
Yeah, okay.
Again, that is an ongoing projection. I mean, we will need that to continue.
Sure.
Strengthen our infrastructure. Again, as I stated, for our energy cost, we were phased in November 2022 until April 2023. That amount increased 15 to 25%. With the impact on the district because of the rise of our natural gas. In meeting with the principals, each principal from the schools, there is a need for audio enhancement and cameras. As you see, 11 of 16 schools had a need for that. So for the amount, there has been some estimates for our intercom system, $1,339,934.86. That is a 2-year. Obviously, we're going to spread that over 2 years because of the cost. We have asked if we could do some of that through federal programs. Currently, we can't. So again, it's about safety. It's about safety for our kids and make sure they are safe in their environments. So that is one of the budget items that we are proposing. Also for the cameras, that amount, that cost or estimate is $355,194. So in total, we have about $1.6 million that we need to invest in our schools for intercom systems and cameras.
Is that in your number already?
My current number,
Your
yes.
current proposed budget?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay, next slide. All right, the next slide gives you a breakdown of our functions for our revenue. I can give you some of those for the local sources. You have your ad valorem, you have your game revenue, which continues to increase. We want that to continue to be the trend for our game revenue. Also, our checking account interest as well has increased the past few months. For our state sources, that amount, $38,117,102, represents our MAEP and our EEF source. Federal is our ESSER, that's $22,250,000. And other federal sources, $16,281,889.21. That represents 14% of our budget. 16th section is low. We keep that low. I mean, because we won't escalate our revenue from 16th section, so we just keep that low. That's what we actually budget from year to year. Other sources include our debt service, which are the bond proceeds from the debt service, indirect costs, and other transfers. Our total is $116,668,540.68. Our MAEP, as you know, we don't get full funding for our MAEP, but currently, if you look in the June for 2023, we've collected $27,942,513. Okay, for our expenditures by function, $46,663,558.13 represents our instructional program. That's our personnel. Our support services, $35,235,146.97. That represents our maintenance and transportation services, SROs, anything that's our support services for the district. Our non-instructional services, $5,274,639.89. That represents our food service, our child nutrition services. Again, 16th section, expenditures, $33,551.06. Debt service, that represents our bond, our principal and interest payments that we make yearly. That's $6,467,493.76. And other financing use is our indirect costs, our transfers that we make at the end of the year, that we book at the end of the year for athletics, SPED, alternative, and at risk. As you know, our SPED and CTE, alternative, and at risk come out of district funds. So we have to fund them, and at the end, if there's a deficit, then we have to cover that deficit as well. Okay, for our alarm, that's the next slide, sorry. Our proposed ad valorem tax request, the district requests a specific dollar amount for support and does not set the millage. The information about the millage is provided only as clarification of the district's estimated effect on taxes. The ad valorem tax effort discussed and advertised is the district's estimate based on available information. Forces outside the district come together to determine what the final millage rate will be. The final millage rate will be higher or lower based on final assessed valuation and homestead exemption. And your next slide is the chart that represents our millage and also our bond debt. Again, we don't set the millage, and we have maxed out at 55. As you can see, that 55 is there for our computation for our millage. Next slide shows a graph of, as of May, the ad valorem tax millage that we've received thus far. The advertisement of notice of tax insurance is required by Mississippi Code Section 27-39-207. The advertisement as run indicates that the district's proposed request may cause an increase in the ad valorem millage rate. And that is the ad that we ran for 2 weeks that we are required to do in our paper. All right, the next steps in the budget process, modifications or corrections related to the school board's input and the public hearing will be reviewed and incorporated into the budget. Conduct final budget review meeting with superintendent. Board will approve final budget and adopt the ad valorem resolution at the July board meeting. The resolution will be sent to the Vicksburg Warren County Board of Supervisors requesting final ad valorem amount. All right, that is a look at our 23-24 budget. Questions or comments?
I'd like a little clearer explanation of 16th section money.
Okay.
I wasn't My mind didn't click well on that.
Okay. That is in terms of what we propose, or just that, because we do
You
get,
said we're not gonna do such and such, because we don't really need to do such and such.
well,
I
no,
didn't get clear on
what
that.
we do is we budget below a lot, below, because we don't use those, that revenue, and we don't want to, inflate in terms of what we receive, because we don't use it, it's really not part of our, our operations for our district maintenance revenue, so. But it is a part of our budget, so we do include it in our budget.
Well, 16th section money is fundamentally set aside for public schools as far back as Thomas Jefferson.
Sure.
So I just like to protect that 16th section money. You have a figure in mind, or you project a figure and hope it's better, but
We do, and we come in quite low, we just, again, yeah, we do have a figure, we can follow the trend as to what we do receive every year for our 16th section, so. And we do track that as well.
what would that be?
Our current,
Rough figures.
a ballpark, maybe about 100, well, I say 100, about $1 million, in revenue.
$1 million a year. Okay. We had a reserve of 12 million in 16th section money at one time last year. Is that carried over?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, we don't, yeah, it's carried over, yes, sir.
And so the public knows, we can borrow from that fund, but we can't just spend it at will.
No, you cannot spend
Right.
16
And we
section
have to
at
pay
will.
interest on it.
No, sir.
We pay interest on what
We
we
do,
borrow.
yes, we do, yes.
Any other questions, gentlemen? All right, so what's the action to accept this
There's really
report?
no action, is there?
Or no action at all, right?
I don't think it, no.
No, other than if there's any
Yeah, you
public
have
to
to sign,
speak.
right.
I don't
And if-
see anyone from the public to speak, unless Eric wants to speak to it.
Question, Ms. Lewis,
Yes.
this will be put in the paper, that we are not asking for any money, right?
That's correct. We get that every year. We do not increase, we don't determine the millage.
But
It's
based
determined-
on what we asked for last year,
Did we
so I know,
receive-
so what's confusing is, we asked for a certain amount last year, and then based on what 55 mil, what they basically, it was at the 55 mil, they gave us what 55 mils.
That's right, they gave us what the 55 mil
mils. Now,
would be.
property values could have gone up or down. So we are not, do we project that we're asking for more money? We're not really, even if property values went up, in essence, that 55 mils would generate more tax,
That's
more
right,
revenue.
that's right.
Are we asking for
No, we're not.
dollar-wise more than we asked for last year? Dollar-wise, not millage.
I got it, no.
Okay, okay.
So
No, and
the fair statement is that if property values escalate, the millage should come down to accommodate our ask, our request.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, we
Good,
should be
sure.
asking,
Okay.
yeah, put in that request for sure.
How many days we wanna run that?
It's ranked, for the ad ran earlier in June.
Now, the one that everyone is saying that you.
Oh, it already ran, but
Yeah,
it's.
ran early before
Yeah.
this meeting, yeah.
But it's required by law to say that we could ask for it, it could effectively be an increase.
But since we're not, can it be
No,
printed?
we're required by
Not at this
law,
time.
because we've asked this, we've been through this one
Yeah.
many times. We're required by law to print exactly what she printed, because we don't know yet until we
Those rolls
actually
are
approve a
out.
budget at the end of the month. But we can keep, what we're gonna do, coaches keep saying it every time it comes out of our mouth, that we're not asking for an increase, we're asking for the same amount.
Yeah.
But the state requires that we say it could be an increase.
That's right. That's
I'm
right.
with you, Coach.
Yeah.
I move that we approve the budget as presented.
Well, we're not,
Yeah, but this is the,
we're just presented today, we won't approve it till August, right?
July. So if there's no further questions, can I get a motion to adjourn this public hearing?
I make a motion, we adjourn the public budget hearing.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you all. Thanks, Ms. Lewis.
Thank you.